Most people think their financial problem is simple. They think they just don't earn enough. But let me ask you something uncomfortable. If your income increased by $20,000 tomorrow, would your financial stress actually disappear? Or would your lifestyle quietly grow to absorb the difference? Because for a lot of people in the United States and across Europe, the real issue isn't money, it's status. And status is expensive. Let's imagine someone fairly typical, a 28-year-old professional living in a mid-sized American or European city. Maybe they work in marketing, IT support, finance, or healthcare. They earn about $70,000 a year in the US or the equivalent in Europe. Sounds decent, but after taxes, healthcare deductions, and social contributions, their take-home income might be around $4,200 per month. Now let's look at the reality of that paycheck. Rent for a modest apartment, $1,600. Car payment, $420. Insurance and fuel, $250. Student loan payment, $350. Phone plan, internet subscriptions, $180. Groceries, $450. We're already at about $3,250, and we haven't even talked about restaurants, weekend trips, clothes, and the quiet pressure to look like you're doing well, because that's where the status problem begins. Imagine this same person decides to lease a slightly nicer car. Not a luxury vehicle, just something respectable. Something that fits the image of someone doing okay. The payment increases from $420 to $650. Not a huge difference, right? Just $230 more per month. But here's the math most people never do. That extra $230 over 5 years is $13,800. And that's before insurance differences, taxes, and opportunity cost. If that same $230 per month were invested instead, earning a modest 7% annually, after 25 years it becomes roughly $185,000. Not because the amount was huge, but because time quietly multiplied it. Status spending doesn't just cost money today, it quietly taxes your future. But the interesting part isn't the math. The math is simple. The psychology is where things get complicated, because humans are social creatures. We don't evaluate our lives in isolation. We compare. Your apartment isn't just shelter. It's compared to your coworkers' apartments. Your car isn't just transportation. It's compared to the cars in the office parking lot. Your vacations aren't just rest. They're compared to the photos you see on social media. And once comparison enters the equation, rational financial decisions start to feel emotionally wrong. Driving an older car feels like failure. Living in a smaller apartment feels like falling behind, even if mathematically those decisions are making you wealthier. This creates a strange modern situation. Two people can earn the same salary. One feels financially trapped, the other quietly builds wealth. The difference isn't income. It's how they interpret status. One person spends money to signal stability. The other spends money to build stability. And those two goals lead to completely different financial lives. Think about someone who earns $75,000 but keeps their living costs intentionally boring. They drive a reliable used car, their rent is slightly below what they can afford, their lifestyle looks average, maybe even unimpressive. But every month, they quietly invest $800 or $1,000. Not dramatically, not aggressively, just consistently. Over 20 years, that habit can grow into $400,000 to $500,000, depending on market returns. No genius required, just the absence of status pressure. Meanwhile, someone else with the same salary might upgrade the apartment, lease the newer car, and maintain the lifestyle expected of a successful professional. They aren't irresponsible, they're simply responding to the same invisible pressure most people feel. The pressure to look financially stable before actually becoming financially stable. And that's the status trap. It convinces people to spend money proving success instead of building it. The financially intelligent people you rarely hear about think differently. Not because they're smarter, but because they quietly ignore the social scoreboard. They understand something most people discover too late. Status is rented. Wealth is owned. Status requires constant spending to maintain. Wealth, once built, quietly works in the background. And the strange part is this. From the outside, the wealthy person often looks less impressive for a long time. Their car is normal. Their apartment is reasonable. Their lifestyle doesn't scream success. But their financial foundation is quietly getting stronger every year. So if you ever feel like your financial life is tight, even with a decent income, it might not actually be a money problem. It might simply be a status problem. And once you see that clearly, something interesting happens. You stop trying to look financially successful and start trying to be financially stable, which in the long run matters far more.